welcome to episode 1 of CCP, the Curtain Call podcast, sponsored by Wave. We are Vital Entertainment.
Shut your damn mouth!
Woo! We really wanted to have this platform for us black people that actually watch wrestling.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga!
For those that are still watching wrestling, and to bring back those who may not watch anymore and give them some exposure on what the new product is. But before we get into things, all WWE, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, or AEW, Ben, that's my man on the left. We got my brother over here,
It doesn't matter what your name is!
Amir, and we have my good sis, Miss Felicia. What got you into wrestling, and what was that one moment that hooked you? Let's start off with Ben.
Since I was in diapers, my dad told me when I was like 3, I used to jump up and down when I used to see Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold. So I think my first memory was when The Undertaker faced Great Khali in like 2005, 2004. Last man standing match. Undertaker picked the nigga up, tombstoned him. I was like, what? Ever since then, I've been an Undertaker fan.
It's making me feel like I was there.
Yeah, that's really about it.
Felicia, what got you into wrestling? Because I'm pretty sure some people watching this like, yo, what the hell is she doing here? I know she's not here right now. So what got you into wrestling?
I started watching wrestling when I first came to America.
What happened to your accent?
So that was like in 5th grade. I can't remember specifically details what got me into it, but I was just intrigued by it. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm a little tomboy. I always been.
So what was that hook? What was that something that intrigued you? Was it like the moves? Was it a specific character, a specific person?
I feel like it was the moves and the character. Like, I have a couple favorite wrestlers, like Rey Mysterio. That's my man.
She like the Mexican joke.
That's my man.
Okay.
I fuck with Undertaker too.
After.
Jeff Hardy.
For sure. Yeah, got to.
Listen.
Got to. For sure. Now, man, what got you into wrestling? What hooked you?
So basically what hooked me onto wrestling was, like, I've been watching wrestling since I was 3.
Yeah.
Like, my cousin introduced me to it. That was when, like, pay-per-views, like the Great American Bash was still around, like, back in the day. Nah, but I was very intrigued by, like, the chair shot, like, the violence of it. Like, the chair shots, the barbed wire, all that.
For me, I could definitely pinpoint a moment. I just remember always watching it with my brother when I was younger, and it was just like on every Friday because we were watching SmackDown. I didn't know much about Raw at the time, but I was always watching SmackDown. And then there was just this one moment that I'm watching Kurt Angle, and then this guy comes in, and then he starts beating him a little bit, and I got attached onto him, and then that ended up being John Cena. And I remember that I didn't know what his name was or who he was. I was just so excited that I was seeing him, and then he didn't have his gimmick at the time, but then after a while he started coming back and rapping, and then he became my favorite wrestler. Before that, I'd probably say it was a mix of a bunch of different wrestlers at the time. Definitely Eddie Guerrero would be one of the top that was up there. But now going back to Great American Bash, I remember Cena versus JBL, and JBL being bloody, or the time when Cena took the pole off the truck and bashed him into it. And I couldn't even watch pay-per-views. I couldn't watch pay-per-views because who the hell was paying for pay-per-views back then? So you just found out what happened on the next episode. It was being still.
See, I had to plug. My mom's, she used to work as like a nurse or whatever. And the old guy she used to work with, he used to tape all the pay-per-views. He used to get everything for free. So I used to watch Great American Bash like the day after. I watched WrestleMania like the night of.
Yeah.
He cut the copy and all that stuff. So I had to plug. I don't know about
That's
you.
must be nice.
I was watching reruns on YouTube.
Oh, you was watching reruns.
I was watching everything.
I wasn't even using YouTube. Oh, you come from a different era because you're a bit younger, so I didn't have that.
We didn't have YouTube.
Well, back then at the time it was really pretty much if you wanted to go on the computer you had to turn the phone off. You had to ask Mom Dukes if you could turn the phone off because it was all dial-up. So it was definitely at that time. What are your reactions to those people that continuously bash the product of entertainment that you choose to watch, which is wrestling? Like, what are your reactions to that? How do you react to that?
I mean, I don't think it's so much now people bash the fact that it's fake because I feel like everybody knows now the storyline is, made up. But the athleticism, the the strength, the technique, the training, All that stuff is real. Back then, we didn't know if a chair shot was real. We didn't know they used to put the little razor blade in the wrist and all that stuff. We didn't know that. So I used to fight people to the death. Be like, nah, it's real. It's real. It's real. I didn't care what nobody said. I said when Undertaker hit, was it Mr. Kennedy with the chair?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh.
Man, I swore that shit was real, up and down. So I don't think it's so much now, but back then when we was like in middle school,
Yeah.
everyone used to say like, oh, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake.
Yeah, that's around the time when they had the little My 9 or UPN 9 behind the wrestling, the guys in the dark. I was like, yo, what is this stuff?
Yeah.
But how about you, Felicia? What is your reaction to that?
Sometimes I do be feeling like where they be coming from, because sometimes you could see that it's like it's not real. But I feel like I don't care what you gotta say, period. And plus, they're like sacrificing their body for our entertainment. So it's like I don't care what nobody say. I'm gonna watch what I want to watch.
I agree 100% with what she just said. Like, they're risking their bodies, like, so that we could be happy, and like, so that we look forward to, like, I remember, like, I used to go to school in the morning, and then I would end up going to Raw later at night. Like, it was one day, and then I went to Raw at Madison Square Garden. I remember I couldn't focus, like, at nothing, and then my mom was like, "Why are you rushing? It's fake, it's fake." I was like, "Mom,
It's still real to me, damn it. I mean, thank you.
Easy, man.
because if I hit you with a kendo stick, that was real." I was that type of kid.
That's a
I was that type of kid.
Yo!
That type of kid.
For me, y'all know I'm quick to get defensive on something I'm passionate about. Whenever I really enjoy something, so they be like, "Yo, why do you watch that? You know it's fake, right? You know it's fake, right?" I'm like, "Yo, first of all, shut up. Now let me explain to you why I watch." So I'll give them a 10 slide presentation on what's the reason why I watch. Why I watched it when I was younger, understanding that now there are disparate aspects that I now realize, and how there was that time that I came away from wrestling, I guess going into high school, but then I started back up maybe sophomore, junior year, and then I started to understand behind the business. So then I started looking online to seeing the different outside features, or the features from backstage, or learning about gorilla position, learning the differences between the face and the heel, and just learning about, okay, this is why the storyline is going this way, because something has happened over here with this wrestler in real life where they have to weasel in something else, and then to see how it's created into something else. Basically, it's a giant soap opera. So I enjoy the entertainment aspect. I enjoy the way they put the movesets together, and I enjoyed how they use the match to create the storylines, and how they use the storylines to help create the match, and how they use the storylines within the match. So that's something that I believe it's art. That is art, and that's difficult to do, especially based off of the time that you have to do it, the athleticism you may need to have that. Even the big guys, and how they speak and interact with each other in the ring, and then learning how sometimes people have matches without even talking to each other, and just having those matches feeling off of each other's vibes. But speaking of feeling off each other's vibes,
Hold on. WWE, sound my boy.
Listen, I'm trying to. I would definitely love to write to y'all. I really love to write to y'all. Just throw that out there.
Yo, Triple H,
Big facts. Talk to me.
Vincent,
I'm here.
Come on.
I'm starting the Black Wrestling Podcast. Talk to your boy. What's up? But speaking of feeling off the vibes, recently the Royal Rumble event has come and went. In the words of Roman Reigns, the Royal Rumble event, we got to see Edge make his return.
On this day, I see clearly.
And Felicia could agree with this. When he returned, I jumped off the bed and I had tears in my eyes. It was that surreal feeling of somebody's back, and he was so passionate about it. The way he came out and looked at everybody and looked around like this is something that he's been missing. So what would you say? What was the reaction for you?
It was exciting because it's so many new faces. Because I missed a lot, so there's so many new faces. But it was exciting to see another old face coming back.
Definitely. How about you?
I just love the reaction that the WWE Universe gave to Edge. Like, after being gone from the ring for so long, like, it was just amazing.
Definitely.
I mean, you know how I felt. I called you. I was like, yo, I'm crying like a little bitch. I don't think people really understand. The man was told by doctors that he could never wrestle again. Never wrestle again. That was 9 years ago. And to see him come back and he's in the best shape of his life, and you could see the emotion in his face when he walked through the smoke. And I'm like, that's when I really started. I'm like, all right, he really back. And he didn't just go back in the ring and look old.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah, he looked fit.
He looked.
He done
good.
took AJ out.
So he took AJ out of commission. So I'm like, yo, if he could do that, and you seen Daniel Bryan do something like that, ain't no stopping people that really love
That's a fact.
what they want to do.
Imagine that emotional impact of Edge coming back, just to come back the next night on Raw, for Randy to turn heel again and smash his head with that steel chair into the other steel chair. What was that like for you?
I'm mad because I actually wanted to see like Rated RKO like go one more time, just like everybody else. But I feel like they're just leading it up to like a big WrestleMania match.
Yeah,
that's gonna like blow the roof off the place.
What do you feel about? Because recently Randy wasn't a full-on heel. He had just became face weeks before. So do you think that was the switch? Because what the news reports are saying that Edge's original WrestleMania opponent was supposed to be AJ Styles, the person that he speared and ended up taking out of commission in the first place. So that's why they had to flip the script with Randy Orton. So what do you think about that?
I mean, that just goes to show you how great of a wrestler Randy Orton is. Not just physically, but like mentally and psychologically, how he could switch to being ruthless, to being the same guy that I used to watch him torment The Undertaker, drive him into a damn car. He's such a phenomenal wrestler, and people really don't give him enough credit, and he's definitely a Hall of Famer in my mind.
Oh, he's without a doubt.
Definitely. I can't wait for the match. I feel like that's gonna be low key match.
We're gonna have to see. We have to see. But Felicia, for being able to come out of wrestling from watching for so long and then coming back in and then seeing that emotion from that Sunday night at Royal Rumble with Edge, what was the feeling like when Randy switched up on him?
Like from when I started watching back and how he changed or whatever, now it was like, I feel like I agree with you with the whole storyline thing, so I feel like they're leading it up to WrestleMania. Yeah. So yeah. WrestleMania
season coming soon. But another match that is leading up to the road to WrestleMania, which you definitely spoke to me on real quick, and you spoke to me on a little bit later on, was Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler.
Oh yeah, that bitch bit her back. She was hungry.
She took the mouthpiece out to be hungry. All right, first of all, let me start before I know you guys have your criticisms. I'm happy that this match is even happening. That's probably the perfect WrestleMania opponent for Becky right now because Ronda Rousey isn't here, even though I didn't want to see Becky and Ronda again at this moment. You can probably add Ronda into the match with Bayley, but we'll get to that later. But I do like the effect that it is Shayna Baszler. She's hot off of being the the regular NXT champion, as they changed it now, being the NXT champion to going after the Raw Women's title. But now it's how they did it. And I know you had some criticism about that. So what did you not like about how they did that?
All of the blood, like,
okay.
I love how they went about it, like making it seem like she bit her neck and all of that. But to me, on my TV, I thought she bit her head. Like, I'm thinking she bit her square in the dome.
That's what
like, I was watching it with you. Yeah. Like, wow. And then come to find out she bit her on the neck where, like, and the patches, obviously, like, you could see that if... like she removed her hand, but...
Well, what about the aspect of having 3 title matches, and in all 3 of these title matches that are to come about, all ended with something with blood? What were those 3? That was the Bray Wyatt
versus Daniel Bryan in the strap match.
Shayna Baszler and
Becky Lynch, and
there was that. What was the last one? Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole. Adam Cole, yeah.
This, I love how each brand is doing like almost the same thing, but if y'all could have split it up, that would have been perfect. Because let's say if y'all been leading this Tommaso Ciampa versus Adam Cole match for so long, I feel like if they would have started it off with the blood match, seeing that Ciampa just came off of injury, like it would add more meaning to it instead of right now.
Because if you have the aspect of all three of those matches doing something with the blood, well, first of all, Bray and Ciampa did the same thing with wiping the blood onto the contract. So it already feels repetitive. And now that's NXT kind of biting off something with the blood. And then now they actually got somebody to bite somebody and get blood, which is Shayna and Becky. Now I'm back. Your take on that?
This is why I have a problem with WWE. They take away blood, they make that shit corny as fuck from these little ass kids. And now they want to bring it back, but use the blood in the wrong spots.
Mm-hmm.
NXT Shayna Baszler is nothing like what we just saw Raw Shayna Baszler. NXT Shayna Baszler was UFC. She would punch the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm.
She would break your elbows. She'd do all that. Mm-hmm. I've never seen her do anything like that in my life of watching her.
But does this not add to her bravado?
No.
Not at all.
No, it doesn't.
But for those casual fans that have no idea who she is because they don't really watch NXT, they only got a glimpse of them from Survivor Series. Now you're seeing her come in and then just bite some bitch neck. What is that for you?
She the man eater. Becky wants for herself to fucking. She the man
She
eater.
the man eater. She the man eater.
The man
She
eater.
the man eater. I take that.
Do you know Jerry Lawler, when she bit him, said, "Ooh, looks like a vampire." The fuck? What?
To be fair, Jerry Lawler does say a lot of dumb shit,
No,
but
kick
he
him
is
out.
also hilarious.
That was not fun.
No,
I just feel like you're ruining the
the effect of what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a very, very Vince McMahon like tactic.
So you think Vince was talking in his ear at that point?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Although Triple H never did that. When all the people that Shayna Baszler fought, Triple H never told her, "Why don't you just bite her neck real quick? Show a little blood." No.
Shayna, you ain't called up. You hungry?
You hungry? Hungry for what? What?
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank Felicia for being on our show today. She is the social media chair of We Are Vital Entertainment. And have a blessed day.
Thank you.
AEW versus NXT, Wednesday nights. But this question was posed to me by my friend Evan. And should people choose one product over the other, or should they just try to watch both and support both? What is your take on that? Because there's a lot of people that so pro AEW that all of a sudden they're against NXT, and there's those that are so NXT that are against AEW because it is on Wednesday nights.
I think they should just change the whole dates of both shows.
Really?
Like keep one show on Wednesday and then put one show on Thursday.
Which show moves?
I feel like NXT should stay since they've been on television longer than AEW.
Technically, maybe 2 weeks longer because they've been on the network. Yeah, they've been on the network, but they haven't been on television. They had 2 televised events. That was the Super Bowl halftime show, and then they had one special NXT episode that was on USA. Mm-hmm. And they only moved to Wednesday because AEW was coming. So who's to say that you really got that spot when you knew AEW was coming on Wednesday nights?
But I'm just saying, AEW, it's a great franchise, but I just feel like it's not there yet to be able to take it over something that's been here for years.
Okay, for a fact.
Not even NXT, WWE in general.
So, but what about the aspect of choosing the choice and how fans act towards that?
I really don't think people should choose, only because they benefit one another. Because if AEW never came on the scene, NXT would have never risen up to actually being a legitimate third brand in my eyes, because Vince McMahon would never see it like that. Once AEW started coming in and we are the next generation of wrestling, we're going to show people that wrestling should be watched again. We're going to show wrestling, as a whole should be consumed again. Vince McMahon was like, okay, I need something to do, something to put in that time slot. So in my point, AEW lit a fire on NXT's ass.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah, so it's a counter reaction.
Yeah. Now, of course, AEW is a startup, so there's a ton of things that could be better, and it will get better. So enjoy both for now. I feel like AEW is more tag team composed.
Well, they wanna highlight the tag division
because there's a lot of great tag teams.
Yeah.
And I see what they're doing with the little stories that they have, and I'll give it time. What I do, I don't watch anything live anymore because I work. adulthood is crazy. So I don't watch anything live anymore. So I would literally watch AEW on like one of my little websites and then go to NXT afterward. I enjoy that. It keeps my day filled with wrestling.
Well, for me, I watch both as much as I could. So what I do is I'll have them both on TV, and then I'll be flipping back and forth based on what the match is, what is going on. But then I do find myself at times leaning more towards NXT. Don't get me wrong, I really do enjoy AEW, especially all the star power and the people that they have there. But I lean more towards NXT because they have that finished brand feel. When it was Finn Balor, he did one of the behind the scenes episodes. I forgot what show it was, and then he spoke on. He was in wrestling for years. He goes to Japan. He travels everywhere, and he comes to WWE, and he has to figure out their wrestling style. He has to switch things up. And he said he thought he knew everything there was to know about wrestling until he learned the World Wrestling Entertainment style of performance. So that brings me to, what do you guys think of AEW's production as a wrestling company now? As a wrestling company and within their matches as well, because I definitely have some opinion on that.
I just feel like the matches, like, they're spot on. Like, I'm not knocking AEW. I really like how they're being able to put the matches together. But what they're doing with the World Heavyweight Championship, I'm like a little bit confused, like, from then and there. Like
what?
Who's the number one contender? When
when
is the... And also, why are y'all not having, like, a pay-per-view?
Well, so their thing is to not oversaturate with the pay-per-views like WWE does every month. By not oversaturating it, every pay-per-view they have is a big pay-per-view now. But now, my problem with you not having these pay-per-views leading up to big matches, now you're forced to do longer storylines that have to keep people involved, and you're not doing as much switches. But that's the thing, they are doing a lot of switches where they're inserting this person here. Now you see Darby Allin versus Chris Jericho. All of a sudden, it's somebody, not Christopher Daniels. Who was it on SCU that went against Jericho? Kazarian.
Yeah.
No, not Kazarian. What? The one black dude, and we over here not saying his goddamn Scorpio Scott. And then he gets it, and it's like, aren't they champions at this point? But it's like, you want to highlight the tag division. Yeah. Now, speaking on the tag division and their production with that, I think their tag teams are amazing. All their tag teams, the majority of our tag teams are amazing, and they're definitely a highlight. But they still don't have that finished product feel. Like, I think Private Party are incredibly athletic. I think they are incredible talents. But I was watching a match. Last Wednesday? I forgot who was even in the match, but it just felt like the way they tag in, tag out, and then not even just them, just the whole. It was like a 4-on-4 match. The way they're setting up the spots. It gives me the feel like I know that you're setting up the spot. They're doing a whole lot of that. There's a whole lot of, let me walk over to here just so I can be in this spot. It's a lot of spot fest. It doesn't feel like the storyline went into it. I feel like with their production, because they're coming from the indies and they do a lot of super kick, this move, it takes away the aspect of those big moves when you see them in WWE. Not when you see them in WWE, but when you see them on AEW, it's like, okay, so this is a regular move. So now that this is a regular move, what is your finisher? And is your finisher really better than that big move that we know of? So what is your take on that?
I feel like the main reason why we feel, and I agree with you, I feel like AEW is more spot filled and NXT tells more of a story. I feel like that's the reason, because not a lot of people are invested in the characters of the AEW. And the characters in AEW don't even really know how to find their place as of yet. So you see things like the Dark Order and what they're trying to do. Great concept. Yeah. Not a lot of people are believing it as of yet. You get what I'm saying? Or with
Randy?
No, or Jericho's Elite. What is it called? Inner Circle.
Inner Circle.
Yeah.
It's looking like Evolution, but I see what he's trying to do to differ it up. Not a lot of people believe in it as of yet. So I feel
they did just sign Jeff Cobb. I believe Jeff Cobb is.
But he's not officially signed yet.
Okay.
He's working free agent wise, so he can still work in like New Japan and all that.
Okay.
So he's not signed yet. He looked crazy.
First of all, you know who's really not working? Jack Swagger. He just seems like a fucking waste now. It just. Like, I get it that he can't wrestle, he can't be there, and he signed with AEW but he's doing his MMA thing. But How many weeks can you go with having a bodyguard that can't do anything?
Like he's literally not touching nobody.
You're not touching anybody. Nobody's touching you. You're just getting thrown out of the match. It's just a waste. You're just standing there. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't be there, but it's like they need to find a way to get him out of there. Just write him off. And currently, it was a great idea to start off with Jericho as champion because he's the most notable. He's the face that everybody knows. But I'm not feeling all the matches. I think he's giving me that personally that Jeff Hardy feel. When Jeff Hardy has his matches now, they feel slow, they feel sluggish.
Yeah.
And not as much as Jeff Hardy, don't get me wrong. Jericho's doing what he has to do, but because his character is what makes the match.
Yeah.
His promos are what really help make the match. But the matches themselves, it's just like, I feel like somebody bigger needs to come in and dominate to be a champion. I feel like Brian Cage should come and just start dominating. And they just need some figure and presence that they can build off of to help them become the champion. Even if I know this may sound crazy, if they use Jungle Boy, he had a following from the beginning. And he kind of had a following through the storyline, but then it kind of got swayed to Marco's stunt, and then Luchasaurus came back, and then it's like, okay, what are you about to do with them three? Now, onto these Saudi Arabia shows. I think them shits are a waste of time. I think it fucks up the road to WrestleMania. That whole perspective of where they're getting the money from, that blood money, I don't really care for. But what are your takes on the Saudi Arabia shows?
They are in like year 2 of this 9-year deal?
Contract, yeah.
So that means they have at least 10 more pay-per-views to do. And it's like, everything is a glorified house show.
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that we saw that was like crazy was Bray winning the title.
Bray winning the title, that's it.
That's it. That's it. They
Wait,
messed up. They messed
Which is
up.
Australia.
Yeah.
But you fucked up again.
You fucked up. You fucked up.
I just
pay-per-views.
I can't stand Vince McMahon and his money, his blood money.
Yeah.
They murdering people.
Women can't even be on the shows.
What?
They have to be fully clothed.
Yeah, that
rule
is straight bullshit.
I mean, that's I can't say that's like religion. That's
drinks
like
thrown
culture,
at
I guess.
people and all that. Like
Yeah.
what? Nah.
But the best thing that happened from the Saudi Arabia shows was that Friday night when we went to SmackDown Live, he was also at that same SmackDown.
Yo, we didn't even know that shit.
And NXT,
Oh my
NXT
God.
put on a fucking show.
Yo,
They put on a fucking show on SmackDown on a product that wasn't even theirs.
what even this?
That was amazing.
Invaded
Real shit.
SmackDown and took the.
And that's how you start off Survivor Series.
To be honest,
That's how the fuck you start off Survivor Series, and that's what I was saying. You needed to come out with a bang, and that bang when Shayna Baszler came out, and I got video of me starting that chant, that NXT.
Oh man, now my boy Adam Cole came out.
Adam Cole, that's the.
Oh, whoa, woo.
Stupid idiots.
One storyline that I did enjoy recently on SmackDown was Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan. Their program was really good. That's something I believe that could have been saved for Mania, because now we're at the spot where we're doing the Saudi Arabia shows. It's Goldberg versus Bray Wyatt. We'll probably Goldberg coming back, but I don't care for this glorified house show. Now it's like, who on SmackDown Live faces Bray at Mania, because you're not trying to pull somebody from another brand. And that brings us to February 28th. John Cena is coming back to SmackDown. Is he coming back in the aspect of being there every week? Is he gonna Brock Lesnar it out, even though Brock Lesnar has been on every Raw this year, which is a shock, because they've been paying him. Yeah, I don't care for the part-timeness, but can we, real quick, before I even go to that, can we talk about Brock's incredible performance in the Royal Rumble? I really enjoyed it. I thought it went so well put together.
Yes, it was fun.
The whole Royal Rumble event was amazing.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was better. It was, to me, it was the best Royal Rumble I've seen in at least 3-4 years.
Yeah.
At least. I can't even remember who.
I enjoyed the Women's Rumble too. Oh my gosh. The Women's Rumble? What's her name? Montez Ford wife. Bianca Belair. Oh my, she dominated that. They really gave her a
That's
start.
my wife. not watching
Montez Ford's wife.
Yeah.
Nah,
You better watch it.
hey, no beef.
Regardless, I think that pay-per-view was a really good build-up, and that's where the road to WrestleMania starts. But then with the Saudi Arabia show coming, kind of stops it up. But now that the news that John Cena is coming back, don't know what aspect or what role. I personally think he is the perfect person to go against Bray Wyatt, to build that captivating story. Even if he's not there all the time, Bray's not there all the time. He could just do the Firefly Funhouse shit. It would just pop up when Cena does pop up, or do something, one of the coming up to a place where Cena was promoting Fast and Furious. Like, they can really build with that and do something fun.
They can.
And Cena could take it more serious because, like, now you're interfering with my business. You're interfering with my job.
That
sounds like something.
So now it sounds like a much better program.
Dope. Ooh.
So I think it should be
Vince,
Cena.
please be listening.
Yeah, don't use Roman. Don't do that right now. We don't need.
We don't need Roman
and Bray.
Roman and Bray,
No,
definitely.
that's not it. Because Vince, you've been fucking shit up.
Vince, are you watching?
Are you listening to me, bro?
Writer.
I'd love to write for you guys, man. Come on, hold it down for me. Rollins right now, I enjoy the storyline. You didn't grasp into it
Not
as
immediately.
quick or immediately. Did you latch on when Buddy Murphy came?
Not even really when he came, only because I'm just like, where is this going? Like I said, it really took me up until last week's Raw, where I'm like, okay, I could get under this. I could believe in this because I feel like I'm being very cynical, and that's because Vince McMahon. I feel like a lot of the things that happen on Raw and SmackDown, it's only for a short time.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too invested, and then it goes away or gets fucked up, and my picture of WWE is getting tainted in my head, only because I'm just like, all the things that I'm like, okay, I love this, just going away.
Well, bless
You know what I'm saying?
To be fair, I do believe the product right now is on the incline because of what we are getting compared to 2 years ago at this time, or 2 years ago where we were in a dead spot when we were watching wrestling, and there really was no alternative. So AEW did a lot of fire under WWE's ass, regardless, rather than just NXT's. But what is your take on Seth being heel again?
I feel like Seth has always been good as a heel, like not necessarily as a face. Like, he gets a lot of attention as a face, but him stabbing the Shield in the back, I feel like that gave him that push in the beginning of his career to state, I'm here, like, and I'm not gonna go away. And look at where he's at now. Like, he's basically leading the Raw brand.
Yeah.
Did we like Seth in the Authority?
No, we did not.
Did we I don't remember liking him. His character.
I was looking, I'm not gonna lie, this is at the spot, I was looking at the product. I didn't even get to see the actual episode of Seth turning on the Shield.
Yeah.
I came into it with Dean Ambrose. When I came back, Dean Ambrose in his own gimmick.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what's going on over here? He's a lunatic fringe. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But that's because the product was so stale at the point. But now I'm glad that it's at a point where it may be oversaturated, but they are doing a lot, and Paul Heyman being in charge of a lot really makes a difference, which is why I'm glad that Seth Rollins is still spearheading as the Monday Night Messiah, being the spearhead of Raw, but having a faction with him, and having that faction being AOP, who kind of needed something, which I thought they would have been fine on their own, but somebody had to speak for them. But now with Buddy Murphy, lost soul, if you will, finding his Messiah, and Seth Rollins being Jesus.
Quick follow-up question. Where do you think they can move Seth Rollins in terms of Monday Night Messiah? Where do you think it goes from here? We already see Buddy Murphy, and do you add another person? Do you, they already got the tag team championships. Do you go for Brock Lesnar? Do you go for Drew McIntyre? Do you where do you think they're going to go from here instead of facing the same Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe? Because that's going to get stale.
Yeah, it's getting that Roman Baron Corbin
You know what I'm saying?
They have to go up against another faction, and I don't know who that faction is. So be it if it has to be the Undisputed Era at WrestleMania.
Imperium.
That would be amazing. Imperium might be tough
Imagine
for
a
the
triple
casual
threat match.
fans. It would be amazing. It would be an amazing match. But storyline purposes of how you grasp the casual fans into them and want to see a match between Imperium and the Monday Night. Excuse me. What is it?
Monday
Is
Night.
it just called Monday Night? Was that it?
Well, I don't even know.
But regardless, that's
Faction.
the two heel factions, right?
Yeah, two good factions.
So that's a tough call right there. What is the funniest wrestling story, or a really good wrestling story that you happen to have?
Me and my bro. I think I was like what 9, 10. I used to have all like the the little wrestling figures and all that stuff. So me and my boy used to go into my room and shit. We used to like story tell for hours and shit like that. So when we would get bored, we would like wrestle type shit. So he speared me. I remember we was playing some shit. He speared me and my bed broke.
500-pound superplex. Oh my God.
Pause. My bed broke. My bed broke, and at that same moment, my mom walked into the room. When I say she had the belt in her hand,
You want the belt?
No, we don't
You
need that.
this belt.
Oh, she was already coming.
Mama, no.
and she was like, my boy was like a brother to me, so like she treated him as a son. So she whooped the shit out of him. She whooped the shit out of me.
Yikes.
I ain't never wrestled like that on my bed again. Never.
Well, I do remember this one time. Me and my brother, we used to take off the couch cushions and we would throw it on the floor so we could do the swanton bomb and then jump on each other off of the couch. And there was this one time, like I guess we were getting a little too rough, and then I just looked at him. I just took my foot and I kicked him square.
Super cute. He's super
His
cute.
nose starts bleeding, and as a little kid, I'm just like,
Please don't tell mom. Please
I
don't tell
started
mom.
no tell mom. I started running away. He started beating my ass. He was beating up punches. That's the best I could do. Like I couldn't fight back. I just kicked him in the fucking nose.
Yeah.
Like ain't no way. He's
Clips.
not jacking that.
It's
Looking like
clips.
John Cena when he got kneed by Seth Rollins.
Oh. Damn. That's all we have today for CCP Curtain Call Podcast. I am Chris. This is my boy Amir. This is my brother Ben. And we thank you for watching. We just really wanted to have an open platform for some of us African American dudes that do watch wrestling. They can have a conversation and have that discourse about wrestling. If you're someone out there that you want to have any sort of conversation, you have any questions, please send that in to us and we'll answer them on the next episode. We'll do this every few weeks, it'll come here and there. But we don't want to oversaturate the product like WWE. But I still want you to hire me. So thank you for watching. We really do appreciate it. We hope you guys have a blessed day.